How much is it? How much is it for a day? How much is it for a day? How much time do you have? How much time do you have? How much does it cost to go to Chicago? How much does it cost to go to Chicago? How much does it cost? How much does it cost? How much does it cost? How much does it cost to rent a car? How much is it? How much is it? How much is it for a day? How much it? How much is it? How much is it? Time do you have? How much does it cost to go to Chicago? How much does it cost to borrow the car, rent a car? How much time do you have? How much time do you have? How much? 자동차 빌리는데 얼마나 드나요? 자동차 빌리는데 비용이 얼마나 드나요? How much does it cost to rent a car? No, he hasn't been around. No, he hasn't been around. Where if you see him, tell him to pick his bags. Tell him to pick his bags. Well, if you see him, tell him to pick his bags. Well, if you see him, tell him to pick his bags. Phoebe, hi. Oh, hi, Max. Hey, do you know everyone? No, have you seen David? Have you seen David? No, have you seen David? Hey, Phoebe, hi. Hi, Max. Hey, do you see my friend? Do you know everybody? 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 No, have you seen David? Have you seen David? Phoebe, hi. Max, hi. Do you know everybody? Hey, do you know everybody? No, have you seen David? Have you seen David? No, he hasn't been around. 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 Well, if you see him, tell him to pick his bags. His bags. We are going to Minsk. Well, if you see him, tell him to pick his bag. Tell Tell him to pick his bag. 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 Well, if you see him, tell him to pick his bag. We are going to Minsk. No, we haven't. He hasn't been around. No, he hasn't been around. Well, if you see him, tell him to pick his bag. Tell him to pack his bags. We are going to Minsk. Minsk is in Russia. It's in Russia. It's in Russia. I know where Minsk is. 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 I know where Minsk is in Russia. It's in Russia. I know where is Minsk. I know where Minsk is. I know where Minsk is. Minsk is in Russia. It's in Russia. It's in Russia. It's in Russia. I know where Minsk is. I know where Minsk is. So when do you leave? So when do you leave? January 1st. January 1st. January 1st. When do you leave? We got the grant. 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 How much money do you expect to get? 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 3 years of expenses paid. 3 years or expenses paid. Or expenses paid. Or expense paid. 3 years. 3 years. Or expenses paid. Or expenses paid. We got the grant. We got the grant. Do you know how much? How much do you expect to get? How money do you expect to get? How much 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 money do you expect to get? We got the grant. We got the grant. How much money do you expect to get? Or expense paid. 3 year or expense paid. When do you leave? So when do you leave? January 1st. So when do you leave? We got the grant. How much money do you expect to get? 3 years or expenses monies?